Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Ignacio here, and it is 12:24 midnight tonight, and it is June 30th, the very beginning of June 30th. I got to tell you guys that 50 years ago to the day is when my parents got married. So I don't think they'll be watching this. I'm gonna call them later, when the sun comes up, and wish them a happy anniversary. Of course, I just had mine 4 days ago. But yeah, that's kind of a big deal. The big 5-0 for my parents. And they're still with each other, and through thick and thin, and through who knows how many moves. And, as time goes on, if people were to know the real story of them, they probably get jealous, so congratulations to my parents on hitting the big 5-0. So tonight is leg day, well, leg night. I'm gonna do squats again. Been trying to work on my form since I haven't done squats since high school, other than last week, because usually I hit up the the leg extension, the forward leg extension for the quads, and I also do leg press on the hack squat and the regular one where you're sitting on the ground angled upwards. And last time I did leg day, it was I had noodles for legs. I had to walk very gingerly because I know what it's like to have your legs give out on you, and then you wind up breaking one of them. And don't want to do that again. Not at 41 years old. And yeah, so as far as what direction I want to go in as far as my YouTube channel, I've been really giving it a lot of thought because, I'm still kind of working. In fact, I have a client I'm taking out Saturday, and maybe we'll write an offer. We'll see. But also, I'm basically, most of the time, for lack of a better term, a stay-at-home dad. And today, for example, I wanted to give my son Joaquin, a day where he did something new, where it was going to be cheap or free, and something that would tire him out. And I happened to find that. I found something that checked off all three of those boxes. And you may be asking, well, what is it? Well, I took him to Town Square over there off of Sunset and Las Vegas Boulevard, and they have this splash pad area that he was just in love with. And it's shaded. It has those tarps that are anchored with cables so you don't burn yourself with the sun. We were there probably around 4:30, so the sun wasn't as strong anymore for the day. And we were there for like an hour, and it was pretty hot. The car thermometer kept saying anywhere between 106 and 109. I don't know how accurate that was, but it was very hot, thermometer or not. And so got to make sure he doesn't overheat. His cheeks get super red, and so even when he's well hydrated, I made sure he drank a bunch of water before we left. He drank a bunch of water on the way there, and he still had some water left over for when we went home. And his cheeks were still flushed, so that doesn't happen to me. He's got lighter skin than I do. He's basically my clone, my carbon copy, except he has lighter skin. So when it comes to sunburn and heat exhaustion and all that, he's got to be just a little bit more careful, which means I have to watch the signs, you know, for heat stroke, all of that. And that's why splash pads are the best thing for you to take your kid to if you're going to be outside for a while, you know, other than being at a pool, because you can just take them. Like I took them like 3 or 4 times into the water, and the water was I don't know what temperature it was because it's so hot. Cold water just feels really good on the skin when you get wet, and it's 110 degrees or 105, whatever it is. So and the thing about it too, since we have such low humidity here, we dry off super fast here in Nevada, and so you got to go back in there, you know, maybe 5-10 minutes later and do it again, because then, you know, you're not going to be overheating. Because once you're cooled off, maybe 30 seconds later, and you're dry, you start getting super hot again. You know, that's just how it is here. But yeah, being at a splash pad, I got soaked myself. You know, I don't care if anybody judges the grown-up that went into the water, and I mean, you'd be crazy not to. So that's what we did today. I think the direction that I want to take my YouTube channel to is maybe you know, doing stuff like that with Joaquin. I don't want to, you know, feature him all that much, because, you know, it's one of those things where I don't want a whole bunch of people seeing him. I'm not going to try and make him a child star or any of that, although he pretty well could be, because he's the cutest kid that ever lived. But you know, different things that can be done as a dad that mainly stays at home with him. You know, and I'm also going to be cooking up some meals, because, you know, that's part of what I do as a stay-at-home dad, is I make food, you know, and sometimes he eats it, sometimes he doesn't, but you know, worst case, we eat it for dinner with you know, as a whole family. But yeah, that's basically what I am thinking about doing, because Las Vegas, really, you know, it's not that big of a town. I am constantly trying to rack my brain for things to do with him that, you know, we can do over and over again and he won't get sick of, and that I won't get sick of. Because going to the park, for example, there's this park near where I live. It's called All American Park, and it has all these football fields. And on super hot days, if you're standing on those football fields, it gets even hotter, because those football fields are made out of recycled rubber, and you can smell that rubber, and the way that the heat radiates off of it, it's like being in a frying pan. But, you know, that park, you go there once, you've been there a million times. Its splash pad is a lot to be desired. So maybe I'll do some videos about the different splash pads and which ones are better than what. But I can tell you this, the one at Town Square so far, out of all the splash pads I've been to, with Joaquin, of course, because I remember back in my single days, I always was like, God, I wish they had those when I was a kid. But it's not like an adult can go and hang out at the splash pad, because you'll just get the cops called on you. But yeah, you know, with Joaquin being in the picture, he loves them. He goes and plays and splashes around, and right now he's at the stage where he claps. He claps at everything, and he claps at other kids playing. You know, he's very positive. He makes other people feel good. You know, other people give him compliments, and that's awesome. You know, so. But yeah, I think that's the direction I might take it in. And yeah, as part of being a stay-at-home dad, the only time I have to do anything for myself is, you know, at this time of night. Now it's 12:34, and I'm gonna go and knock it out at the gym. So yeah, today's leg day, and for sure I'm getting a swim in tonight. Gonna go for another mile. Hopefully I'll beat my personal best of 56 minutes and 59 seconds. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking in there with me, and be sure to hit like and hit the subscribe button, and I will talk to you guys next time. All right.